you would have to answer this more than I can say, but as someone who's known you a long time, I think it was a real turning point in your life. I mean, you became a global director. It's amazing. Now, another thing I'm thinking of is a woman that I know here in Dubai. So I was in a discussion with her a few weeks ago, and she said, as she was leaving, she said, well, Patty, wish me luck. I said, why? And she said, because I'm terrified, but I'm going to ask my boss for a raise, a salary raise. I said, you go, girl. Remember, you're worth it. And I was just, doing that kind of all those you are and I am and say these things. And so I saw her last week and she said, how did it go? She said, well, he wasn't really into it. So I just backed off. That was my reaction. But I didn't want her to feel bad about herself. So I contained my face so that it wouldn't be like, what are you talking about? But that's what I'm like, what? This is very common. What advice do you have for this gal? Because there's many of them. She just backed down. See, it comes back, for me, it comes back to worth and knowing your worth. What do you tell a woman when she goes through that and almost betrays herself?
And I like those words because that's exactly what she's doing. She's betraying herself. She's betraying the work that she has done, and I have known so many women that do exactly that. And I know I must have done it as well, thinking I want to go and ask for a raise, but they don't have any money for me, so I'll just wait and see what they give me, kind of thing. But if you truly believe in yourself, if you go through those 3 steps I just explained, that will absolutely give you that courage. And it does take courage to go and ask for a raise, especially in these day and times with the cost of living being so high. But by going prepared, and this is what I always say to people, you can go and say, hey, I want to ask for a raise, but if you are not prepared to back up why you deserve this raise, they're gonna laugh at you and they're gonna escort you back out the office. So you have to be prepared with as much evidence as you can bring to the table to show that this was what you did, this is the impact it had on the organization, and this is why I deserve this next raise, this next level up on the band or whatever I'm in. But you have to be able to back it up. And a lot of times women don't do that. They just think, well, you've seen what I've done, but surely you know the impact I'm making. No. I need our women to use their voice to bring to the party what they deserve to get at that table, right? If they do not use their voice and they do not bring those accomplishments, and it's not just saying, hey, I did A, B, C, D, it's saying, with this project A, I helped our organization save millions of dollars or pounds or yen or whatever, which also had a big impact on the efficiency the organization can now say they can claim towards this particular area. So it's always thinking about the impact that you have made on the organization as an individual, as part of a team, and as part of that company. When you can justify it that way, they can't refuse you. Then it's time to negotiate the amount you want. And that's a whole totally different topic, isn't it?
Yeah, but again, we go back to, there is always the affirmation, I am worthy. And for a lot of women, they can say it, but they don't really 100% believe it. And that's why I want us to recognize our worth. Mm-hmm. What are we worth? But I think that's really good advice. And I think what we've talked about today are issues that women really experience, but it's almost like we don't want to talk about them too much because we're a little bit ashamed about it. We know we should be strong, but we know that we can live up to our standards and that we really shouldn't let these people hold us down. That it's okay to dare. It's okay to fall down. We don't have to be perfect. If you want to guarantee you sabotage yourself, go for perfectionism. Yep. If you want to make sure that you fail, strive for perfectionism. You've got to be like the Japanese pottery, when it breaks, they just mend it. and with the crack, and it becomes a new form of art. And they say it's through the crack that the light comes in. And in all my years of studying Qigong and studying Chinese medicine and working with the Chinese people, I learned that you can only have perfection when you include imperfection. It's the law of opposites. It's hot. You can't have hot without cold. You can't have male without female. You can't have up without down. You can't. So why would perfectionism be any different? So let's talk just for a moment about that, because I know that there are, especially this is mainly for the mums, because that's when I noticed it, was when I became a mum. All of a sudden, if there was dust in the house, now granted, I had a mother-in-law who used to come along and but never mind. And I was young and I wasn't strong like I am now. What do you say to the mums who feel so pressured or feel guilty because they're working, because they're not spending all that time with their children? It's interfering with their idea of the perfect motherhood that they are, the perfect little family. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What do you have to say to them?
I love that, because I know when I was raising my two kids, I had to go back to work. And this is the case for many women, and especially in our day to day. You need two paychecks to cover the bills and everything. And that's what was going on with us. But when I dealt with the stigma of going back to work and leaving your baby with somebody else, I actually had to I had to console myself on the fact that this isn't out of this was out of need. And so many women beat themselves up because they think, I need to be spending time with my babies, but I can't because we need the money. And I want you to stop beating yourself up, because you are doing the best that you can in order to make sure that those babies get what they need in order to live a good life. What I always say when people say they want to be perfect in whatever it is, I want you to think about people that are perfect. And, if you see a perfect speaker or a perfect mother or a perfect father, they're always, like Patty said, they're always cracks. But the most important thing for you to think about is, when you are perfect, you are not connecting. And so we don't want to deal with perfection. We want to deal with connection. So the more you can find ways to connect with your children as that mom, regardless of whether it's an all-day thing because you are there with them and you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're a go-to-work mom, the amount of time you spend with those individuals is going to be so precious, and they are going to remember it. So find a chance and a time and set it in your diary to make it happen today. Never be too tired to connect. And if you can do that, if you can continue to have a little bit of extra energy for those babies, then it helps set them up for the ability to connect all the way through their life, because they will then start to do a similar thing. They'll set aside time to have real conversations with people, to understand where other people are coming from, to understand that sometimes we don't have a lot of time, but we use that time really, really special, in a special way. So I know that's, we can't fix everything, but if we can realize it's not about perfection, it's about connection, then things will start to get easier. But
what you're saying is really true. And the problem with perfection is that we lose our authenticity. I don't want perfect. I want authentic, and that authenticity is what makes the connection.
And that's why Patty and I do what we're doing. We want to help you step up and stand out while you're transforming your voice and being able to have it heard, whether you're an accomplished professional, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a mom that goes to work, or whether you're an entrepreneur. Everything that we are doing here is to support you, lift you up, and never push you down.
This is a class, but this is a master class for women. So if you're an entrepreneur, a mom, a business owner, whatever you are, speak up, stand out. transform your voice, because that is how you will be heard. That's how you will be seen. So I dare you gals to dare.
Dare to dare. We'll leave
Dare.
it there. Nice. Nice.